Everyone, welcome to another episode of Independent Artists Unite song series. Super psyched to have back on the show from Ireland, Mr. Paul Chaney, talking about
Hello.
his new single, Another You, from the forthcoming album. Still forthcoming, right?
Yeah, it's gonna actually be a few EPs I'm gonna be
Oh,
releasing.
is that what you're gonna do? Okay. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, for the simple reason that, I had a big, what's the word? Um,
Output?
Plan
Oh, big
over
plan. Okay.
Christmas. Well,
Yeah.
basically I sat down over Christmas and said, whatever I do in 2024, I want it all planned out and I want to stick
Okay.
to that.
Yeah.
So I said, I want to actually do EPs kind of back to back.
Mm,
Because I do different styles. I'd rather have kind of like an EP in this kind of style than another EP in that, each with
mm.
four tracks.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
I'd be,
cool. So
yeah,
everyone's
like
gonna have a
basic.
slightly different flavor in each one.
Well, the way I was like, play to your strengths. I write an awful lot of stuff,
Mm,
and I don't want to be bound anymore by, waiting X amount of time, and
yeah.
just want to just get this stuff out there. And if a certain style or whatever gets traction, I'll just continue with that.
Mm.
Basically, I
Oh,
don't have time to really wait, especially with a body of work I have. I just get it
yeah.
out there. If it clicks, it clicks. If it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. I find it very hard to sit on something that's like done, just like, I gotta get it out. I
Yeah,
gotta get it out of here.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But as well as that, I get people, you know, people that DM me when I put something up on TikTok or I put something up on Instagram going, when is it out? And I've like in the last year, I've had at least between 50 and 100 people go,
wow.
I really like that. And it's not out. It was like a sketch or it was like a 1 minute thing. And I
Yeah.
said, okay, this year, whatever I'm putting up is going to be out already.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I don't want to disappoint people. And people are, they've got shit to do. They're scanning through stuff. I want to
Yeah.
just give them what they want.
Yeah.
The point is, I'm not big enough to be giving people a 6 week lead off after they like something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather go, oh yeah, well, here's the link to that. You like that. Here's the full version,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
you
I think
know?
that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, because as we talked about last time, you have like a tremendous work ethic and you share it like openly, like on Instagram stories. I always love how you do that, where you're like, you're very like honest and vulnerable. Like, I got to get this out of my head, or something, or like, or coffee and the six string or the what's the guitar? Is it the alto guitar? No, it's
Oh, the baritone.
the baritone. Yeah, the
Yeah,
baritone
Fender
guitar.
Bass 6. Yeah, yeah.
And those always sound super cool. So I'm hoping we'll get a baritone EP.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the thing is, I can talk about my work ethic, but the more I think about it, I'm actually lagging behind. I'm going to make a big step up in 24. At the end of the day, I remember my uncle said something to me years ago, and I used to dismiss it, but he was right, which is there's 24 hours in a day.
Mm,
And it's either you're killing it or you're not trying hard enough.
mm,
At the end of the day, there's always somebody killing it better than you, and people less talented and more talented.
mm,
I
mm.
guess the question is, how much do you want something?
Yeah,
So I had
yeah,
to really I had to really have a good hard look at myself over Christmas and go, right, no more fucking around, make a proper plan, and for God's sake, stick to it
mm,
and just follow through. Like
mm,
really follow through. And if that means 16-hour fucking days, that's what it means, you know? It's a no regret situation now, especially for me.
yeah,
I just want to get it done and get it out there. And even if it's not absolute perfect, at least it's out there. And the thing is, you don't know. You can't be objective about what people will like.
no,
I mean, I spent months and months on some tracks, and I, just a little bit of history. I kind of hit the scene with a 4 track EP that took a year to mix, right?
mm,
I had a professional engineer kind of mix it. I recorded it. It took ages.
Mm,
absolutely ages. I'm proud of the songs, but it nearly broke me.
yeah.
So I said after that, I started doing like instrumentally stuff and quicker singles, quick mix time, turnaround time. And sometimes I got better response from people.
Hmm,
The point is, you put an extra value on things the more work you put into them,
yeah.
where people, when they listen to it, they might go, that's bullshit. I prefer that thing that took 5 minutes you did.
Yeah.
Basically, it's almost like a
Yeah.
work-related value bias or something.
Right, right, right. Yeah. But
So
I
I
think
said,
that
look,
there's something to those quick ones though, where you capture a certain passion, where like I remember, I think we talked before about like back in the day when you did demos and then you had to go into a studio.
yeah,
I remember by the time you're actually recording in the studio, you've played it's like you've done the demo, you've played the song out so many times, and now you're in the studio and nobody even likes the song anymore.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's squeezed every ounce of passion out of it. And you're like,
yeah.
oh, I wish I had that passion captured that was on the original demo.
Hmm. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and I kind of like that's why I said as part of my plan, if you will, is kind of like I want people to know exactly where I'm coming from because sometimes there's a what do I call it? There's like a gap between how you think people perceive you
Mm,
and how they actually perceive you.
mm,
And a lot of that, I think, is kind of putting up fronts for social media content that's
mm,
not actually you. And
mm.
that's hard work because you're kind of pretending to be some quasi version of yourself.
Yeah.
And I think people can pick up on that bullshit.
Mm. Where
So
or where are you coming from? Like if you would describe, like you said, you want people to know where you're coming from. Where are you coming from?
well, I don't know.
You
But
don't know?
the point, well, I don't know. Like most artists don't know, but at least you can kind of be honest about whatever it is.
Yeah.
Kind of, this is me, and it'll make kind of content creation and any sort of that kind of like I don't really like the term content creation, but
Mm,
it's par for the course now. You can't
yeah.
get away with it. You just have to do it.
Yeah, well, I think that stuff where you're just working on songs is so great. And I'm wondering, do you like for I think, actually I think it's mostly kind of musicians that watch this show. Do you have any tips for like productivity tips? Do you have like certain rules for yourself that you follow because you are so disciplined and you just always seem to be working hard. So I'm wondering if you got any tips for
I got some good advice from an old boss of mine, and he said because I used to look at him and he'd be pushing 10-hour days. I don't know how he was like a Duracell bunny. I don't know how he did it. And he turned around and he said, "I bring an urgency to everything I do. I
mm,
don't wait. I just do it. I don't think about it. I just do it." And you're never going to be, especially a musician, you can wait to be in the perfect moment or I'm not feeling it, man. But really, you have to sit down and force it through. Work through that unease of feeling you're forcing yourself. But as you know yourself, as a creative, once you get into the flow and you get over that initial hump of laziness, you're good to go,
yeah.
you know?
And do you have any methods for like because I know you have a lot of different instruments and stuff. Is it if you yeah, certain days you're just like, okay, I'm picking up the baritone guitar today, or I'm picking up the bass, or I'm going to start with the keyboard today, or
Yeah.
how do you decide how to start off?
I guess it's kind of like I love film and I'm kind of visual person.
Mm,
So I kind of think of songs like something from a movie. That I don't that makes any sense. I kind of
yeah.
when I'm writing a song, I think of does this embody something that's almost like a visual movie in my head,
Mm,
like an essence of an emotion. To give you an example, if I had something in my head that was kind of like James Bondish, kind of Christopher Nolan kind of thing,
mm-hmm,
I'd probably gravitate to probably baritone in that case.
mm-hmm.
It's whatever I associate with that kind of genre, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then, but the odd time it'll just be a melody in my head, and I'll try different instruments because sometimes, you might have a melody in your head that piano or synth doesn't work, and maybe a kazoo works. I don't know. You have to try, you have to mind it. Well,
God
Hendrix,
damn it, where's my kazoo?
well, Hendrix said the same thing on Crosstown Traffic. But sometimes there's the right instrument for the right melody and the right song.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the great thing about songwriting, which is it doesn't make any sense. You could write a good song, but if it has the wrong production, the wrong instrumentation, it's just going to sound wrong.
Mm,
It's kind of strange. Like, even when people go, all that matters is the melody and heart. Yeah, that's true. But if you package it wrong, people aren't going to get it,
yeah, yeah.
you know?
Well, let's talk about Another You. Um, did this start with that little synth riff? Because I love the synth riff in this song.
That's a strange song. It kind of came out of a void that. It was one of those weird times, when you're kind of sitting just playing a guitar, looking out the window on a winter's day,
Mm,
and it's very quiet in the house. There was no objective. It just came kind of very easy.
mm,
And when I wrote it, it didn't seem like a good song at all. It wasn't like, aha. It seemed like kind of a bit, I don't know. But it kept coming back into my head, the chorus.
mm,
And, this idea about being who you should be, making the
mm,
choices in life to align with the path that's probably best for you. So that kept coming into my head about making the wrong choices in life.
mm,
And I started thinking again about that kind of film thing of what if you could have a look at this alternate reality where you could see yourself based on a different choice you made in the past,
mm. Yeah,
and I kept with that idea, and that kind of gave me some more kind of inspiration, and it all kind of flowed very quick,
yeah.
you know. A strange one. I don't know where it came from, but
So, but it
I,
started on guitar then?
yeah, it started on acoustic.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
yeah.
oh,
Because
actually,
that synth sound, I love that synth sound and that synth
I,
riff. So good.
I tell a lie. There was a demo I did that had that synth sound
Oh,
originally,
okay.
and for whatever reason, I remembered that synth sound when I was doing and that synth riff
Mm.
when I was doing the acoustic. So it was like the two of them were meant to work together.
Okay, cool.
That's why I never throw away a riff. You'll never know when you'll need it.
Yeah. Where do you keep them all?
Oh, all over the place. Like, I mean, I'd record on my phone, just singing into my phone during
Yeah.
the day on the bus. I'd have 100 little bits every month, and I just stack them and put them away and try and name them so I kind of remember them. Most of them are total shit. You know what I'm talking about. Most of it is awful, but you might have something that kind of like, oh, hold on a second, there's something there.
Yeah,
See, the good thing about recording all these bits is the good bits will come back into your head.
yeah.
If it's good, you'll remember it. That's why if something's good, it's usually going to be catchy as well because it's
Mm,
good. It
yeah,
has a resonance, a melodic resonance with people where it'll hook them,
mm,
you
yeah.
know.
And so, but is Another You going to be a part of an EP with some similar sounding stuff, or is that you're going to leave that as a single and go EPs from here on out?
I'm going to leave that as a single. Like, my plan is in terms of EPs, as you know, with the Spotify algorithm and all that, it's better to
Mm,
release singles. Like,
yeah.
the algorithm responds better to consistency of singles. And
Mm,
then you can bunch them together after the fact, maybe with an extra bonus track as a body of work.
yeah, yeah.
I just don't want to be in a situation where I've got 50 singles And if somebody like say, oh, I like that song in that style, and they don't know where the other songs are in that style. So
Yeah.
it's more about sorting stuff
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
easy
Yeah.
reference for people, where they
Mm,
go, oh, that's the Paul's got that shoegaze EP or Paul's got that electro EP, and
mm,
it's easy for them to find the stuff they like,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. And how are you getting this like you putting up like incredible numbers on YouTube with your video for Another You, right? Didn't I see that you were saying it was like 50,000 plays or something?
It's not. I wish it was 50,000. No, it was a couple of thousand.
A couple of
Um,
thousand. Oh, okay.
yeah, but I
Might
got a cool,
might as well
I
be
got
50,000 to me. I can't get it.
yeah, like the way I look at it. Anything under a gazillion doesn't mean anything. It's just
Well,
to me, it's an indicator um, that I'm kind of on the right path.
mm,
Like the way I look at it, I look at this as a long game. I'm doing what I do, and I'm kind of iterating as I go,
mm,
and kind of just tweaking things and seeing what clicks and what doesn't click, and kind of finding my vibe. It is a journey, and I've learned so much even in the last couple of years about what to do, what not to do,
mm,
what we talked about before about what really resonates with people, what they want to
mm,
see, um, what's authentic. That's a learning curve. I thought it was something you could just learn and do. It's not. You have to really
mm,
keep trying, that works, that doesn't, again and again and again.
mm,
The thing for me was to try and find that middle ground of, oh man, content and, oh, this is fun. So I had to make it fun and authentic. Like those kind of behind the scenes things or um, the coffee and this is my process. I don't know how to do content any other way.
mm.
That's all I know how to
Yeah.
do. I'm
Well,
not
I
a
mean, too,
marketer.
I said before, you're like tremendously supportive of other artists. I don't know how many people I found out about from in your stories. So I
Wow.
think you're the first person I saw that was really posting other people's work like that. And I I followed many people, because it was something you thought was cool, you know.
That means,
Um,
that's cool that you say that. I mean, there's so many really talented artists.
yeah,
It's like an ocean there.
yeah, it
I mean,
really is. It's amazing.
I,
Yeah.
I don't know how many. It's amazing and it's kind of scary and it's unfair as well. I mean, I don't know how many songs
Mm,
get uploaded every day, tens of thousands,
mm,
and there's so much real talent there.
yeah,
Um, is kind of getting lost in the ocean.
yeah. I mean, in a world like that, what is important to you? Is it building a body of work? Is it reaching a certain amount of people, or what's your focus?
My focus is, since I was a kid, I always felt things so intensely.
Mm,
And when I picked up the guitar, when I was younger, I always felt that what I was feeling would hopefully resonate with somebody else.
mm,
And what I was feeling and the songs and the bands that took me out of dark places,
yeah.
that I'd be privileged enough to be able to have that effect or maybe help other people or maybe even um, inspire other people.
Mm,
I guess what I'm talking about, it's human connection.
yeah.
For someone to turn around to me going, that song really hit me and it really helped me through my day. I mean, that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
Like money, if I ever did get famous with it, that's fleeting. It doesn't last.
Mm,
And the happiness curve on that, as we all know, it doesn't last either. But
yeah.
having that real, what's the word? Creating that connection with people and it resonates on a human level. I mean, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Like I do believe that I have something that I feel that will resonate. I just think I need to mine the territory and maybe tweak it so it's kind of I'm articulating it in a way that people get it easier.
mm,
That it's not. I think it's a little bit. It needs to be finessed, is what I'm saying.
mm. It's funny, and I mean that's I mean I've been lucky that that's happened to me a few times where I can tell people really get it, right? When they're
Yeah,
when they say something to you, and it's like it, I don't know, maybe you can relate. Like you can't put it into words how much it means to you, right? It's like someone saying,
mm,
"Oh, this is so great," and da, 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 da. I've been listening to it nonstop, da, 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 and you like say, "Oh, thank you so much, heart, heart, heart," and that's not enough. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
there's no way you can telegraph like what that means to the soul of an artist. You know what I mean? It's
I
like
know.
it's like this incredible thing, like this is it, you know. And then when it happens, it's like, how do I describe it? How do I? It's gone. You know, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
mm, I know. I mean, but it's how could I explain it? I mean, I'm not really I know a lot of people are very concerned about AI replacing songwriting, and I mean, yeah, there's a lot of that going to come in, but I maintain that people are going to want the stories of other people.
Mm,
Now they're going to want the human behind the, you know.
yeah.
I think there's a difference between listening to a fully computer generated song and something that comes from pain or joy or human experience.
Yeah.
I know personally I would gravitate to, a real person writing something, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is there's always going to be a market for real human storytelling.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm saying. So I'm not overly concerned with the technology.
Yeah. That's a good point. I never thought about it before, but I think that's what I love about Instagram because you like see I mean, I would have gone nuts as a kid, you know, if there was Instagram where you could actually see your heroes, you know, and see that
Yeah.
they're people, see what they do, you know,
Mm,
even have a chance to connect with them. It's
mm,
it's pretty incredible. But yeah.
I
Um
know.
and I want to get back to another you because we hear the return of the boy soprano there in the chorus.
Oh,
I wanted to ask you about that because is there is there a real relationship between when you were a boy soprano in the church, right? In case people are
yeah.
listening, and is there a real connection? Like, do you remember what happened when that voice was on its way out, and you were like, and it had to become a falsetto, or how what was that transition like? I'm always one curious.
Well, I mean, when I was, I mean, there was for most of my teens, I didn't really sing. I only picked up a guitar when I was 17.
Okay.
So there was a huge gap. And I think I only really started singing falsetto again in my 20s.
Wow. Okay.
And I guess the
Interesting.
point I'm making is that something carried over.
Yeah.
For some weird reason, when I sing in falsetto, I can sing perfectly in tune.
Yeah.
But if I'm recording and I do a take in a lower normal voice, I might have to do 10 takes to get it in tune. But falsetto seems to be first time.
Wow.
Very strange. I don't
Yeah.
know why. It's like when I sing, I can kind of hear in my head when it's locking into pitch or something.
Mm,
Very strange.
yeah. Maybe it was from all singing
Probably.
when
Yeah,
you were a
I'd say
teen.
it's
Yeah.
something from childhood, yeah, where you kind of it gets ingrained in your subconscious or something,
Yeah. 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 It's
but
and do you relate your falsetto now to the voice you had as a boy soprano? Does it sound the same to you on
um
some level, or is it?
probably
Yeah.
probably it's kind of like, I mean, a lot of my new stuff now, it's going to have a lot more of that as the
Yeah.
kind of main vocal,
Oh,
you
cool.
know, which is kind
Yeah.
of funny because you've got this kind of scary looking leather wearing bald convict looking guy with a choir boy falsetto. Just the contrast is kind of
Well,
that amuses me, you know.
Aaron Neville. What about Aaron Neville? He looked like an NFL linebacker.
Did he sing falsetto?
Yeah, the Neville brothers? Yeah, I think so.
I'm not familiar with them.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, he and his brother had a singing group, and he's huge. He looks like he's like a linebacker in the American Football League, you know.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's got these big arms and everything, and Mike comes up, you know.
I like that. Yeah. I
I
like
get.
that.
I have to send you a link of Aaron Neville
No,
because it's too. It's
send me
too.
a link. I mean,
It's too funny because he also wears leather vests with cut off, and he's got these huge arms and everything too.
right. Now definitely send me a video on that. I'd love to see it.
All right, Zoom's giving me a warning here. All right, man. So the next thing we're going to hear from you is a one of these EPs that have a
Yeah, I
special
mean,
look.
I'm going to be bringing out a single probably late February called Drive,
Oh, nice.
and that's going to be full on kind of modern electro pop
Oh,
kind of
cool.
stuff,
Yeah,
synth, like kind of what's the word, neo synthy pop kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's going to be I'm actually working on a video for that. And that's going to be the first single off the EP. So the first EP is going to be kind of synth driven
Oh,
kind of
nice.
pop with a little bit of a retro feel.
Oh, nice. I love that. Yeah, yeah,
I just want to get that out of the way
yeah,
and then I can move on to the next thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Well, thank you so much for making time for this tonight, Paul. And yeah, we'll look forward to Drive and the master plan as it unfolds.
Thanks, Scott. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks for having me as well.
Great to talk to you again, man.
That's great. Take care. Talk to you soon.